Devin Neal, been waiting to want to talk with you, and we had Corey Kiner, Mekhi Bernard, all Taj Brooks. There's going to be so many running backs. I asked that to Corey. How much did you recognize the depth and good depth of running backs in the conference while you've been in the Big 12, but also this past year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously being in the Big 12 for 4 years, you kind of recognize these names, and I played against a lot of these guys, for multiple years. So it's been special going against them, and I have pretty good bonds with them too. So it's always unique. You want them to do well until they play you. So it's pretty cool just to see all of us on the big stage and doing our thing. So.
You are probably as KU through and through as anybody could be, right? You grew up in Lawrence. You're there at KU. Coach Liepold comes in and, shoots some life into the program. I know it didn't go, especially early on for you guys, the way it wanted to. But what is that? What is the university? What is the city? What does all that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it means everything. It's the reason why I stayed and did what I did, right, and just become a leader early on and do whatever it takes to, be a successful program. Because at the end of the day, I just wanted to win and change the program that I grew up watching and loving. So
I don't want to bring up a bad memory, but at the end of the year, you guys have a chance to make a bowl game after that run. You go to Waco, disappointing loss, obviously, but what was that like, just the ebb and flow of that season? I mean, to start off rough, have this streak, and then kind of have this thing dangling there and to fall short, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it was challenging as a leader, keeping the guys together, and then we did, right? And we kept them together, and then we bought in. We just ran out of juice at the end, and I was doing whatever it takes. I know guys were doing whatever it takes, but, there's just a lack of energy I felt from the beginning. I'm like, I don't know if this is, the same team that was there last week. And so that's football, though. You have to show up and show out each and every week, especially in the Big 12, because, that Baylor team was probably one of the best teams in the Big 12. Mm-hmm. And they weren't ranked. It wasn't this and that, but that was a good ball team. And, they competed and they won a lot of games as well. So I think we took that for granted a little bit, not seeing that number in front of their name. And we didn't compete with the same edge we did with the week before.
How well prepared do you think the team is next year to kind of pick up, though? I mean, given that you guys had a little juice there at the end, do you think that helps kind of go into next season where you got a little taste of what works and what doesn't maybe?
It's hard to tell just because, I went to practice and I wasn't even – they were in Spider, so it was hard. It was the first day of practice, so – it was hard to tell. You have 30 new guys, so you never know. But the one thing I do know is the culture's in a great place, and they're going to be in a great spot there. And I also think just a little bit of case of humble pie. We had a great season, in 23, go 9-4, cool. Then we had the season we had, so now we don't take things for granted as much. And I know the coaching staff is working their tails off. I know the guys that I play with told me, hey, practices are harder, and that's probably a good thing. I think there's getting back to the details and focusing on everything and focusing on the 1% better each and every day. So,
if you look at Lance Leipold, it looks like he's mad at the world all the time. But we had him on during the Big 12 media days in the summer in Vegas.
He's a smartass, that's for sure.
Yeah, he is. But he's got a soft side to him, and a really kind of a cool dude if you get to spend time with him. How would you explain him?
Yeah, I would explain it just like that. Like, he's really cool, and he's down to earth. And but the thing about him, when you get him in game mode, he's never satisfied. So you can win by 60, and he's finding ways to, what do we mess up throughout the game? And I think that's what makes great coaches great. I just think he has a special knack for finding ways to get better and implement different things in practice that we maybe struggle with. Like I said, we can win by 60, and maybe we didn't execute 2-minute drill the way we wanted to. We're going to work on that. Mm-hmm. I just think he operates on that. And but like you said, off the field and stuff like that, like, he cares about each of the guys, and he does whatever it takes for guys to succeed, not only in the program, but, he's a lot of feedback now for me, and I know a bunch of the guys who are here, and the after-school process and the pre-draft process. So it's unique in that aspect.
We knew Jeff Grimes from when he was at Baylor, but you had Andy Kolenicki, and he really shot some life into that running game. If you look at what's going on at Penn State where he is, their running backs had fantastic years. Yeah. What did you learn from him that's going to prepare you for this?
I would just say, obviously that's very unique, the offense he runs. He did a lot of different wild things, but I think it's going to be me pretty well-versed because I ran every type of run scheme. And he runs every type of run scheme. He runs gap, he runs outside zone, he runs power, outside zone, you name it. And that helps prepare me because no matter what team I go to, I'm going to be prepared to run whatever type of run scheme they run. And so I think that's probably the most valuable thing I've taken from him. And, it really came into existence when he's teaching me how to be in sync with the O-line and, be a part of O-line meetings to understand combinations and stuff off the field that helps
Mm-hmm.
you play faster when you get on the field.
You also caught a lot of passes too. Like
Yeah.
you did that. How much has that helped you in this preparation that you were doing that already? A lot of running backs sometimes don't. Like, it's just not part of the scheme. I mean, they can't. It's just never asked to. But you were asked to do pretty much everything, like you said, a running back could be asked to do.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that makes me who I am. I just think I'm, one of the most versatile backs in this class, and I think I've shown that on tape as well. And I just think that comes from my baseball background, hand-eye coordination growing up, and it just comes natural to me. It's just pretty effortless, and it's just like an instinct for me, I guess.
What position were you in baseball?
I was center field.
Center field. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got that.
Athlete's position.
Yeah,
for
athlete's
sure.
position. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you play if you pitch shortstop or center fielder, you're
One of the studs. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're one of the studs.
You're one of the guys.
I could only do a couple years in college, though, and then I had to let it go.
Devin Neal, running back at Kansas, with us on 365 Sports.
I guess just a focus on football. Is that where you were? You just kind of had to go all in on that?
It was tiring.
Yeah, I bet.
Spring ball was pretty hard. You go from football practice to baseball practice to classes, and then I was an exercise science major at the time, and it was just nonstop, and I wasn't able to, really train after for either baseball or football. So, I really noticed the jump. Like my freshman year to my sophomore year, I really focused on just football, and that's what helped me become a better running back. So I'm actually focused on running back drills and just getting better. And I never did that my entire life, so I definitely took advantage of that.
So you mentioned, and Paul as well, some of the things people can go flip on the tape. I mean, the stats are there, the video's there. So today, like, what did you want to accomplish today as far as being a part of this event? What'd you think of the whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, I just really wanted to be smooth with the running back drills and just do what I do. I just think, my footwork and my cutting ability is one of my best traits, and showing that and just being consistent in that, also running routes and just showing that in front of the scouts and stuff like that. No, go ahead. You're good.
No, yeah.
Oh, I was just saying, and then obviously I did the rest of the stuff at the combine and stuff, and it is what it is. I'm not disappointed in my 40 time. It is. I mean, a bunch of teams have me hand time. Lower 4.5. It's stuff like that they use, and I just don't think too many times in my position you're running in a straight line. So I definitely think my tape speaks for that, and I've been able to rattle off chunk plays and long touchdowns and plenty of times in my career. So.
Are you a little bummed that you won't get to experience the new stadium, the stadium renovation there as a player?
It's funny you say that because I went back to Lawrence after the combine and they showed me a bunch of the new stuff they're getting, and I'm a little bit jealous.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you look back and you understand, like, hey, without the
But
stuff
you were
that
part
we
of that.
did,
Yeah, you're part
we
of
don't
that.
get that. And
Yeah.
the future generation don't get that. And I think back of the reason why I committed to KU is for the future generations and other guys from Kansas to commit to this school and believe in it and to experience the things that, we didn't have early on. So, it comes back full circle for sure.
Was that weird to play at Arrowhead as your home site?
It was weird because I didn't feel like I ever had a home game this year.
Yeah.
It was really weird. So, I think we had a good fan turnout. I think it would have been better, obviously, if we were winning. But at the same time, you didn't have that real home field when you're traveling an hour and 30 minutes away to, get to your home game. So.
Gifted athlete, obviously. You mentioned multi-sport, and almost some of that was almost taken away from you when you were younger.
Yeah.
What was that like to all of a sudden not know your future physically with the accident you had?
You talking about with my knee?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a tough time. You don't really process these things the same way when you're 14, 15 years old, and it was obviously something very traumatic for me. But I had a great circle. I have a great circle. They were behind me the entire way, and I went into isolation just because you're in therapy, physical therapy right after school, and just doing whatever you can while all my friends are still playing sports for the middle school team, for the high school team, going into it. And so, it was very unique, but at the same time, I think it taught me a work ethic. I think at the time, I relied on simply just my athletic ability instead of working out and, being introduced to Olympic lifts. I was introduced to Olympic lifts early on, and I've been naturally gifted at that and stuff like that, and it helped me prepare myself for the future. So.
Yeah, that you lose something that you can take for granted.
Yeah.
And the fact that you grind through that. And we've talked to a couple other players who have been injured. It is isolation. It's
Absolutely.
like a lonely time is what
Yeah.
some of them have said. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like I said, I went to physical therapy for a couple hours and then go straight home, and I'm on crutches. I can't really move. I can't really run the same. And, you have those doubts a little bit when you're 14, 15, like, am I going to be the same guy? And, and now that I look back, I should never had that worry because, I became better. I was more explosive athlete afterwards and ran faster, was stronger and stuff like that. So definitely proud of my doctors and my team, and then obviously my parents and my friends and my family for helping me get through that too.
Blessing in disguise in
Absolutely.
a weird way.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hell of a career. Hell of a career.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
How I'm curious, and my wife will want me to ask you this because you share the same Psycho alumni base. Big game tonight against Arkansas.
Yep.
And obviously you grew up around it. Like, can you go to Kansas and not like basketball? Like, if you ran into somebody who didn't like basketball,
Right.
would you be like, "Are you all right?"
Yeah, it's a little weird, and for me, I've always been the guy who just watches the game from the TV. But then when Zeke came back this year, I've been to almost every game.
Did you know him growing up?
Yeah,
Zeke?
me and Zeke have been friends since we were 3 years old.
Okay.
So
cool.
there's actually a video we just posted where we went back to our old neighborhood of where we grew up and playing sports. So it's been special to watch him grow as well. And he was there at all the football games, and I've been training and stuff, but getting to all the basketball games, I was able to go to one before I came down here. So I'm rooting for him, and it's a revenge game for the last time Arkansas handed it to us. So I'm definitely excited. I think my flight gets back just in time.
Okay.
Back home. So I think we're going actually with his family out because they're not going all the way to Rhode Island. So just go with them and watch the game. Everyone's going to be a little nervous. So.
Devin, it's great to meet you and love watching you play and had a heck of a career. Good luck with whatever happens the next month with the draft and enjoy it, breathe it, and let it go. And I know you will. Great stuff. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Devin Neal, running back at KU, with us on 365 Sports.